Righto. I figure I'd record like the first 10-15 minutes for you, so you can see what it's like. Obviously you can also get it on Steam, play an hour or whatever, and then refund it if you don't like it, but this should just give you an idea. When you start a new game, you get like random seeds. You can just click through a few times. Most seeds are pretty much as good as any other seed. Change the number of stars. No reason not to go with maximum. Resource multiplier. I usually go infinite because it's just, don't have to worry about it. You can just focus on building a factory, then you ain't got to worry about running out of resources or any bollocks. But you can do the game at, well, even at 0.5 times, and you pretty much have to try hard to run out of stuff. But go 1 times, start game. I'll skip this so you can watch it yourself. So this is how you start. You always start with 6 iron veins and 6 copper veins right by your starting location, and you always start on a planet that looks like this, a Mediterranean planet, and it's always around a gas giant. Right click to move, or you can use arrow keys. Right click to interact with stuff. This is the sort of pod you arrive in, so you can mine that to get some resources early on. There's also an audio tutorial, but I've got it disabled at the moment. Just going to mine some trees and flowers. Because if you notice down here, I've got this energy bar. This is how much energy my robot's got. If I click on him over here, he does generate some energy, but it's slow. You can put items in here to generate faster. You see it's going back up now. You'll start off using wood and plant material, but very quickly move on to coal, and then you can refine the coal into graphite rods, which you can use as well, and you'll use that for sort of the early part of the game, and then you'll switch into like hydrogen fuel rods and more advanced fuels later on. So let's do what it's asking me to do. It wants me to research electromagnetism, which requires these magnetic coils. I don't have any of them, so I can build some. They require magnets and copper ingots. Although some of the because it's a Chinese game, some of the translations are a bit sketchy. Like they're called ingots, but they're clearly plates, like copper plates and iron plates. Ingot makes more sense, but the image they've used is not an ingot. But mining our little pod thing gave us the things we need, so we can make the 10 of these we need. So we make 5, but we get 2 every time, so we're going to get 10. So that'll research away. Just going to open that and put more plant stuff in. Should keep us powered up for a long time. Also, I've got an automatic mining machine, wind turbines, and Tesla towers. Tesla towers allow you to sort of transmit power to other places. Right, so first thing I'm going to do, it usually gives you 1 of any time you unlock a building. It usually gives you 1 or 2 for free. So I'm going to stick that mining machine over here. You can hold shift and use R to rotate smoothly, or you can snap to the grid by just pressing R and rotate smoothly, so I can get all 6 of these in. It needs power, so I can place this down. And you can place buildings directly from in here, or you can open up your build menus and do it from down here. And if you double click, it takes you to this screen where you can build more if you've got the resources. You can also click this little arrow or control click in an empty space to sort your inventory, which is nice. But if I build this here, this will now start mining. It's 41,000 here, and it's trickling down. Now you might think, oh, that doesn't seem like a lot, and it's not. I mean, that node there, or that vein, will be gone fairly soon, because there's only 41,000. But if you come over here, like the very first sort of proper iron node, you've got 400,000, 10 times as much. And then every planet you go to that's further away from this one, the amounts of resources you have increase with distance. So by the time you get sort of the outer planets, you've got millions and millions of each resource. Okay, right, so now that should be full, so I'll take those. You need so much iron in the early game. I want to build another one of these. In fact, I want to build another. Yeah, let's build 2 of those. It builds all the interim bits that I need, which is kind of nice. So it tells me down here it's got that, it's got the resources to build this stuff, but doesn't have the stuff for that. And that's because I'm low on copper, and I can go and manually mine some copper. And I can grab another mining machine, take that, put that there. Now to get power to that, I need some more of these. And these, let's get a little more copper. You have to do a lot of manual crafting and mining in the beginning. As you can see, I'm not actually generating enough power for this. It requires, it's looking for 420 kilowatts, and I'm only producing 300 kilowatts. So because I'm only giving it 71% of its power, it'll only work at 71% speed. So that's 128 a minute. At full speed, it'll be closer to, well, it'll be 180 a minute, which is 3 per second. And I'll be able to do that just as soon as these are finished. So I'm going to place that one there. And later on you can get more of these drones, and they get faster. So now as you see, it's mining much faster now. And then and you can click and hold and drag to place multiple at the same time. So now we're generating a total of 1.5 megawatts, which is plenty. I do need one of these. Just to bring power over to here. And now I'm getting copper as well. You see, they're so much faster then. Only see how fast I mine it manually in comparison. It's like, let's get 2 or 3 for every one that I get. And I don't have to do anything, that gathers while I'm, wandering about, whatever. So that's the sort of basics there. I would like to. So you've got technologies, which is your buildings and stuff, assembling machines, smelters, so you can automatically smelt ore into ingots, and then you've also got upgrades, which upgrade your mech. This allows you to see all of the ore on the planet. So when I press M and bring up the map, and it says unknown amounts of all of these, when I research that, it will show me how much of each of these and how much oil I've got. And then if I zoom out, there should be 2 other planets. One will have silicon and one will have titanium. That's how they do it in the starter system. Your home planet has no silicon and no titanium on purpose to force you to go to the other 2 planets. But later on you'll find planets that have got all the resources on, basically. Right. So I want to get some automation going just to show you how that works. So I want automatic metallurgy to get the smelters, and I want basic logistics to get conveyor belts and sorters. And for those I need lots of magnetic cores and circuit boards, so I can build those. I can either build them like this, well, no, yeah, I can build them like this, because I need them directly. But if I was building a building, say this building, which requires these, I don't have to build these beforehand. I can just build the building and it will automatically queue up these. And I want basic assembling as well, which needs some cogs. So I built some cogs too. It's not the fastest in the world, but you can do other stuff while it's chugging away. I can go and collect some more plant materials just to make sure I don't run out of energy. Yeah, it's giving me 3 smelters right off the bat, which is nice. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to use this mining machine to get a bunch of those coal nodes over there. Build 2 of these and another couple of these, just to make sure I don't run into low power. Let's build. Thank you. I think that's close enough. Yes. So now I can get coal. I need another 10 of those, 5 of those, and then I can grab 50 coal and I can put that in here, and that burns much slower because it has way more energy in it. So logs give me 1.5 megajoules, Plant fuel is 500 kilojoules. And coal is 2.7 megajoules. So each coal gives me twice as much, near enough, than a log. So it lasts much longer. Right, and then I want a load of conveyor belts. This is produced 3 at a time, so if I produce 30, I'll actually get 90. And I'm going to need some sorters as well. We'll just get as many of them as I can. I've got an assembly machine. I actually want a second assembly machine, so I need some more iron ore. And then I'll show you a quick build. So get a conveyor belt, come out of there, go along here. And that will build the conveyor belt. Then I can build some smelters. Wrong place. Press X to delete. 1, 2, and 3. And they are going to need some power. Place 2 more of those. And then you have to select what recipe you want. So I want to make iron ingots. And then I can press, what's it called? It's the comma. I can press comma. That's right. And then full stop to paste. You can also hold shift, click on one, and then paste it over the tops, or you can select one and drag it and it will build a bunch, and that will also copy recipes. I want, the way this works is this is the in belt, this is the out belt, so I want them to take iron ore in and iron ingots out. And I don't have enough sorters yet, but they're coming. Just wait for those. Awesome. And then I can do the same with these with the sorters. I can just click on that, I can drag it across, and it'll automatically place the sorters. And then I do need power poles, but I'm just waiting for those. It'll take a little while. Wait for that. Wait for those. Get the power pole. I think just there should do. So they're now going to output iron ingots. I also want a storage. So I need some stone for that. I can mine these little stones here. I can build a storage now. Just want one. Yep. Right, and I want to automate making belts. So I can use an assembler. To make a belt I need iron plates, which I've got. There they are. And I also need cogs. So I need to automate cogs as well. And to make cogs, I just need iron plates. So I can set this one to make cogs. I can put another one next to it. That's going to make belts. And then this one just needs iron ingots. This one needs iron ingots. And then it can also take the cogs directly out of this machine into this machine. And then this one will output the belts into a storage. So we'll just set that up. And because this is going to be doing 3 every 1 second, it's actually a little bit less, because these only work at 0.75 speed, whereas production speed 0.75. The Mark II assemblers are 1 times, and then the Mark III are 1.5 times. So because this recipe takes 1 second and produces 3 items, if this was a 1 times, it would be producing 3 items every second. These saws can only move 1.5 items every second, so you actually need 2 of them to empty it out. Otherwise, it'll start building up in here until it hits maximum capacity, and then it'll stop. Right, so we've got that out, and then likewise we're going to need that to go back in. And then if I dump a power pole there, that should start up. And there we go. I've automated making belts. And essentially that is the whole game. Obviously it gets a bit more complicated as thing goes on, but generally the idea is you just build bigger and more elaborate automated production. So you start with automating belts, you'd then probably automate sorters, you'd automate the magnetic coils, you'd automate the computer chips, and then you could automate the entire buildings, and so on. But that is basically the game. It's quite enjoyable, especially in the later game when you get some items with like crazy ratios where it needs like 4 of these and 2 of that and 3 of those, and they're all on different time scales. I mean, this ratio works out really nicely because this produces 1 cog per second, and this uses 1 cog per second, and this uses 1 iron plate per second, and this uses 2 iron plates per second, which is a total of 3. And these 3 smelters produce 3 iron plates per second. And they're actually backing up because these are only 0.75 speed. But if these were the Mark II assemblers, they'd be fully using all of the iron on this belt, with nothing left over. There'd be no backing up. But yeah, alrighty.